Hello, and welcome to My Point of View Movie Reviews. Now, today's review is for the much anticipated movie, It, Chapter 2. This movie was behind the eight ball from the beginning. It had the tall task of being just as good as Part 1. Part 1 was a phenomenon. But let's go back in time to 1990. Now, I've never read the book. I've known people who read the book. We had intimate conversations, so I pretty much feel like I read the book a little bit. But in 1990, me and my college homeboys seen the It series on TV. And the first part blew our minds because we could relate to it. Being young, being afraid of stuff, coming to haunt you and play with your minds and pop up and get you. And then we watched the second part of the series, and it wasn't quite as good because if you look at the book, It doesn't have a clown on there. It just says It, and it is an entity. The clown was so popular from the TV show that they're using it again in the movies. Pennywise. Pennywise is a form of this entity. It's not the main character. And Part 1 makes you feel like it is the main character. So when It Chapter 2 came out, I kind of knew the backstory where the movie was going, so I wasn't really surprised. Look, you're not going to get a whole lot of Pennywise, the dancing clown. But understand, the movie is called It. It's not called Pennywise the Dancing Clown. This thing can take the shape or form of anything. For a while there, it chose to take the form of a clown because they can pull kids in, then chomp their asses up. That's why it can turn into anything. Werewolf, devils, it can look like anything it wants to do. It's not a demon. It's not a ghost. It's not a poltergeist. Not a conjuring. It's an alien from a different dimension, and it eats people, mainly kids, and it preys on your fears. So knowing that, I kind of knew what I was getting myself in for Chapter 2. It's a really good movie. It is long, and I felt every minute of the length of this film. It is long. And it's a theater experience. Please go out to the theaters and support this movie. You have to see it in its theatric form. It's fantastic with a good crowd. Is it as scary as the first? Debatable. Depends what you're afraid of. I felt Part 1 was a little bit more creepier. This one has some good elements. Then I realized after I seen the film what made 1 so good. The children. And Chapter 2, everybody grows up. They reunite years later, and the chemistry is wonderful. A lot of flashbacks going back and forth. It's a different kind of format for a film, but the book, from my understanding, is just like that. And the third act, it's going to be divisive. Either you're going to like it or not like it. Either you're going to love it or you're going to hate it. A lot of this movie is true to the book. And you gotta understand, the book is weird. The book is out there. Cosmos. They got orgy scenes and everything. I mean, the book is way, way, way out there. And it was written in a time, in the 60s, not in the 80s, and then in today's time. So it's not really measuring up to how the original book is and to how this movie is. But it's still very good, well directed. The cast is phenomenal. Now, Bill Hader is getting a lot of praise, and he should. He's great in the movie. I never heard of the dude. I didn't know who he was until this movie came out. I don't watch Saturday Night Live. The last time I watched it when Dave Chappelle hosted Saturday Night Live. I don't watch it. And the next time that I will watch it is when Eddie Murphy hosted, because I heard he's coming back to host it for one night. I don't care for Saturday Night Live, so I didn't know who this dude was, but he brought some levity to the film and some much needed comedy because it's a very dark story. Everybody else is good. You get more kids than you do adults in this movie. It's kind of weird, but it was still really, really good. Now also, there's some de-aging in this movie. I'm hearing a lot of things that it would look bad. It was fine. It didn't look bad at all. It depends who you want to ask, but the de-aging effects for two of the children look perfectly fine. It was not a problem. If you're looking for it, you will see it, but it's not going to take you out of the film. Pennywise, when he's on the screen, he steals the show. He's amazing. Unfortunately for Pennywise, he suffered the same tragedy as Jason, Michael Myers, and Freddy Krueger. He became a superhero killer. And we're waiting for him to pop up and do things. And that's what not Pennywise is supposed to be. He's like a figment of your imagination. He can get you and kill you, but the purpose of this movie is to really concentrate on it, the entity, the being, not so much Pennywise. But Pennywise is such a cool character, you just fell in love with him. But understand what you're getting into. Score is great, cinematography is great. Overall, this movie is well directed. There's no flaws in the movie from that standpoint. Now, this movie will be picked apart. You will find some things wrong with it, but no film is perfect. Now, to me, it creeped me out, gave me some good jump scares, and I walked away thinking in my mind that was a crazy ass film. And the black dude from those Irish Spring commercials or whatever, hey, he's great. He's a fine actor. And everybody else really did a good job. It was solid, great follow-up to the original. It's going to make a lot of money, and it's debatable which one is better. But to me, 2 could never be better than part 1 because that's the way the book was written. It's a weird ending, and you got to just engulf it and accept it for what it is. But It Chapter 2, I recommend that you see it. Go to the theater with your friends, and you will have a hell of a time. It's a good follow-up. With that, I say thank you. Like, share, subscribe, and tell all your friends. And leave your comments down below. It Chapter 2. Let me know what you think. And as always, it's just my point of view. Hello, and welcome to My Point of View Movie Reviews. Now, today's review is for the much, not must, much. Hello, now I hope you really enjoyed this video. Without you, there's no me. And do us a favor, stop by the website at www.blacktastic.net and pick up some merchandise. Get yourself a hat or pick up a t-shirt. It's things like that that help keep the channel going. And also, feel free to leave a donation on the home page at www.blacktastic.net. Thank you all so much. Again, you make this so much fun. Without you, there's no me. Until next time, see you later.